Eva stood in the narrow hallway of the apartment, her coat still unbuttoned, her hands trembling as she rested them over her rounded belly. The smell of strong black tea and something medicinal lingered in the air. It was quiet now. Too quiet. After the words that had just been spoken with such certainty, such finality. "You must understand," the woman had said, folding her arms across her chest. "My son deserves better. This situation is inappropriate." Inappropriate. As if Eva's pregnancy were a stain, a mistake that could be wiped away with a harsh sentence. Eva had tried to speak, she really had. She'd rehearsed it in her head on the bus ride over. How she would explain that she loved him, that the baby was wanted, that they would manage. But standing in front of her fiancé's mother, under that sharp, appraising gaze, the words dried up. "Where is he?" Eva had finally asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The woman looked away, just for a moment. That was all Eva needed to know. "He doesn't want to argue anymore," she replied. "He needs time, and frankly, so do we." "We, not he, we." Eva nodded because nodding was easier than crying in front of her. She reached for her bag, her fingers clumsy, her body heavy in a W. She called him then, once, twice, a third time. No answer. She stood at the edge of the sidewalk, cars rushing past, and felt the terrifying realization settle in. She was alone. Completely, undeniably alone. That night she packed a single suitcase. She didn't take much, just clothes, documents, and the tiny knitted socks she'd bought in secret weeks earlier. She left the apartment they had chosen together, the curtains still unfinished, the future still unpacked. Her aunt's apartment in a small provincial town became her refuge. It was cramped and old, but warm. No one asked uncomfortable questions. No one told her she didn't belong. Eva found work in a bakery near the train station. The hours were long, the pay modest, but the smell of fresh bread gave her mornings a sense of purpose. The owner let her sit when her back hurt. Customers smiled at her belly and wished her luck. At night, Eva lay awake with her hands resting where the baby kicked softly, rhythmically like a quiet promise. "It's just you and me," she whispered into the dark, "but we'll be okay, I promise." Sometimes she believed it. The birth was difficult, long, and lonely. But when they placed the baby on her chest, everything else fell away. The little girl stared up at her with solemn, curious eyes, as if already studying the world. "Marusha," Eva said through tears, "your name is Marusha." Life after that was survival in small steps. Sleepless nights, cracked hands from flour and soap. A constant, dull ache where disappointment had settled. She stopped checking her phone. She stopped waiting. 3 years passed quietly, stitched together by routine and resilience. Eva learned how strong she could be, not because she wanted to, but because she had no other choice. Spring arrived early that year, filling the small town with pale green leaves and cautious optimism. Marussia ran ahead of Eva along the dirt path, her laughter ringing out as she jumped over puddles and declared them lakes. Eva watched her with a tired smile. Her daughter moved through the world without fear, confident that someone was always there to catch her if she fell. They were almost home when Eva noticed the man standing by the gate. At first, she didn't recognize him. The shoulders were more rigid, the face thinner, the hair touched with gray. Then he turned, and the past rose up between them like a ghost. Her heart did not race, that surprised her. "Eva," he said. She stopped walking. Marussia hid behind Eva's leg, peeking out with open curiosity. "I've been looking for you," he continued as if that explained everything. "It took time, I didn't know where to start." Eva studied him in silence. The anger she'd imagined for years never came. Instead, there was something quieter, an old scar that no longer bled. "You found me," she said finally. "What now?" He swallowed. "I want to talk, I want to explain." "Explain what?" Eva asked calmly. "Why you disappeared or why you let your mother decide our lives?" He winced as if struck. "I was afraid," he said. "I thought if I stayed quiet, things would somehow resolve themselves." Eva let out a short, humorless breath. "They did," she said, "just not the way you expected." Marussia tugged at Eva's coat. "Mommy, who is that man?" Eva knelt beside her, brushing dirt from her daughter's sleeve. "That," she said gently, "is someone from a long time ago." The man crouched too, careful, unsure. "I'm her father," he said softly, "if you'll allow me to say that." Eva stood up. You don't get to decide that alone, she replied. Father isn't a title you claim, it's something you earn. He nodded slowly. I know, he said. That's why I'm here. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want a chance to be present, to take responsibility. Eva opened the gate and motioned for Marussia to go inside. Go wash your hands, she told her. I'll be there in a minute. When the door closed, Eva turned back to him. You should understand something, she said. I don't need you. We built a life without you. I can see that, he replied, and I respect it. Good, Eva said. Because if you're here to be saved, to be comforted, to be forgiven easily, you're in the wrong place. He met her gaze, steady now. I'm here to stay, he said, if you'll let me, slowly, on your terms. Eva considered him for a long. Come back tomorrow, she said. We'll talk again, that's all I'm offering right now. He nodded, relief flickering across his face. Thank you, he said. Eva closed the gate behind him and leaned against it, exhaling. Inside, Marussia was singing to herself, unaware to. Eva smiled faintly. Not every door needed to be slammed shut. Some could be opened carefully, cautiously, only when you were strong enough to choose.